So good evening everyone. Today we are discussing about the three-tier architecture topic in SAP FICO. So in SAP FICO we are discussing this topic. So let me explain. So SAP R part 3. This is called as a three-tier architecture. Before that architecture, what is mean by architecture? In as per SAP knowledge, SAP terminology, architecture is nothing but the layer of SAP process, like types of SAP process. So, what are the process? What are the stages in SAP? So, these are called as a architecture. So, let me know. I'm explaining one by one. So, first of all, I'm explaining the types of SAP. So, in SAP we are having three types of data. So, types of data in SAP. In SAP, we are having three types of data. So, those are configurational data as well as transactional data and master data. Configurational data is nothing but the configurational data is nothing but the work done by the consultant, like SAP FICO consultant. We can take new implementation project as well as supporting project. No, for before that, the supporting project or whatever supporting project or implementation project, the company will enter in SAP module. So before the entering the SAP module, the consultant will take the basic data from the client based on the blueprints. So after taking the blueprints, the consultant will configure the data. The consultant will create or configurations the data based on the what are the documents available what are the data available in blueprints? These blueprints based on these blueprints, the consultant will create everyone. Will configure the data. So, for example, one company entered in SAP. So the data based on the blueprints data, the consultant create the process like step by step. For example, first step is group of company creation as well as company code creation as well as credit control area as well as business area creation. Like business area means nothing but branch creation, assignment of branch to company code, assignment of company go to business, group of company as well as credit control area creation, tolerance group creation, employees authorization groups creation, assignment of one assignment of one configuration to another configurations. These are all configurations done by the consultant based on the blueprints data. So then the second one is transactional data. Transactional data is nothing but the work is done by the end user. For example, after configuration, each and every data based on configuration data, the end user nothing but accountant. The end user will done each and every transactions each and every transaction. That is called as a transaction data. For example, end user means nothing but accountant. I already told. So end user posts. End user work is like day-to-day expenditure, monthly expenditure, yearly expenditure, whatever the transactions like real posting, as well as in the customer invoice posting, as well as customer invoice clearing, as well as vendor invoice posting, vendor invoice clearing. These are all steps done by the customer. These are all transactions done by the end user. So these are all transactions come under the transactional data. Then third one is master data. Master data work will done by the both like a consultant or as well as end user. Each and everyone will done this work. For example, company introduce new expenditure as well as new customers or new vendors. So, for example, before one entry posting, for example, expenditure, we can take one expenditure entry like electricity bill paid. Before electricity paid, we must and need create electricity ledger. So the ledger creation is the comes under the master data as well as, for example, one vendor related one invoice posting required. So before the entry posting, we must create the vendor name as well as the customer invoice posting. Before that, we must need to create customer name. So these are all data. These are all comes under the master data, vendor master data creation as well as customer master data creation, GL accounts creation. These are all comes under the master data. So then in SAP, we have configurational data as well as transactional data and master data. So in SAP, so for example, in SAP, after posting the any data, we need to check the report. Like after after post the entries, we need to generate the reports. So the before the reports will display the in SAP. In SAP, there are thousands of tables. The reports will generate more than thousands of tables formats. So for example, we have separate table for configurational data, transactional data, master data. These are all three type of data. Data reports will generate. We have more than thousands of tables available in SAP. So before that, I explain one difference between SAP SAP ECC as well as S4HANA. So now I'm using ECC. The updated version is S4HANA. One of the major difference, report generation is there are one of the major difference in S4HANA as well as ECC. The ECC will generate the reports in table format as well as rows wise. The ECC will generate the reports table wise in table format in rows wise. అలాగే as well as the S4HANA, in S4HANA reports will generated table format as well as column wise. The major difference is ECC reports comes under the rows wise. The S4HANA reports comes in column wise. So then in SAP we have we have defined as three layers. I already explained. Architecture means layers. So layers, stages. So layers of in SAP. SAP define three layers. So number one, presentation layer, application layer, database layer. I already discussed the same types of data. Here also same. Here also same. SAP define three layers. Presentation layer. Presentation layer is like a end user layer. I mean, what are the documents end user posting? What are the documents end user posting is called as a presentation layer. That is client layer. Client layer means the end user taking any information and post the each and every document based on the client information. Client means nothing but మనకి ప్రాజెక్ట్ అలర్ట్ చేసిన మనం ఏ కంపెనీలో అయితే వర్క్ చేస్తున్నామో వాళ్ళు మనకి క్లయింట్ అవుతారు. సో క్లయింట్ ఈజ్ సో బేస్డ్ ఆన్ ద క్లయింట్ రిక్వైర్మెంట్ ద ఎండ్ యూజర్ పోస్ట్ ద ఈచ్ అండ్ ఎవ్రీ ఎంట్రీ. The end user posts each and every entry, it comes under the presentation layer. Then second one is application layer. Application layer is like configurational activities. I already told the configurational data. Like configurational data here, configurational data will be divided into two types. So, for example, application layer is nothing but configurational activities. The configurational activity is nothing but two types, like functional configurations as well as programming configurations, so like programming data. So in application layer, working in consultant as well as ABAP team members also working here. For example, and then database layer. I'll explain in small way. For example, this present I'll display a small picture, a small diagram, like presentation layer, like client wise end user. So here end user posts each and every entry. Each and every entry. That entry was posted, like that entry was saved in the database layer. Using with application layer configurational activities. So, for example, without any configuration, the end user posts any entry, it will not be saved in database layer properly. So, without any configurational activities, the end user could not post the entries. So, the application layer is the bridge. It is called as a bridge, like between the application layer is called as a bridge between the presentation layer as well as database layer. So the end user posts each and every entry. The entry will save the database layer using the application layer configurational activities. I mean, after configuration only the data will save the database layer. Then after saving the database layer, the end user will generate the reports. So the generator and the end user will generate the reports. The reports will comes from database layer to end user screen. In middle of the configuration activities must and should be done. Without configuration, without proper configurations, the data will not be displayed from the database layer. So the application layer is the most and important process of most an important process, most an important layer in SAP. So then I'll explain database layer also. I'll explain. Then presentation layer, each and every work done by the end users, and application layer also each and every work done by the consultant like SAP, functional consultant as well as the ABAP team. I mean ABAP consultant like programming consultant. Then database layer is nothing but the data stored in the database. Database layer is nothing but the data stored. Uh, so, for example, we can take one bank, ICICI Bank headquarters located in Hyderabad. So, all the data, I mean, all the transactions related data will process and will maintain from Hyderabad main branch. So, these are the main branch. So, here, the main branch will maintain the total database. So, that is called as a database layer. Then I will explain briefly what is mean by presentation layer. What is mean by presentation layer? What is mean by the presentation layer? The presentation layer is nothing but the SAP end user screen. So I already told presentation means simply we can think presentation is nothing but posting. So posting is nothing but generate entry we can post the entries like essay document, GL document, vendor document, like vendor document, customer document. These are all documents done by the database, done by the end user. Then here he will post the document entries, will generate the reports. So I already told. ఈ presentation layer లో end user will post the document as well the report, generate the reports. Then what is meant by application layer? The application layer is the application layer is 1 minute. The application layer is the bridge between the presentation layer and database layer. So I already discussed, I already explained here. Application layer is nothing but configurational activities layer. So without configuration, we cannot post any entries or else, as well as without configuration, we cannot we cannot generate the reports. So these purpose, the configuration and the application layer is very important. So the application layer, sorry, 1 minute. So the application layer is the bridge between the presentation layer and database layer. Then in application layer, who are the working in application layer? Which type of employees are working in application layer? So I will discuss. I already told functional consultants. I already told functional consultants means like FI consultants, FICO consultants, MM consultant, PP consultant, QM consultants, SD consultants. These FI consultant, MI consultant, SD consultant, PP. These are all the consultants comes under this functional consultant, as well as configuration like the functional consultant. The functional consultant will do the configurational data. Then another consultant is technical consultant. Before that I told technical consultant like ABAP team, ABAP person. So technical consultant means the technical consultant, they will create the technical consultant will do customization activities like programming activities. The technical consultant will do the customization activities like programming activities. So functional after creation of like a technical consultants means Based on the client requirement, the technical consultants will design the script using with programming languages like coding. So after finishing this ABAP team work, the consultant screen will be prepared based on the consultant screen. The consultant will create the each and every configurations. So ABAP team. So I think we will understand the difference between functional consultant and technical consultant. Functional consultants means already designed configuration, already designed screens. The consultant will create the configuration. So, but ABAP team technical consultants means technical consultant also create the configuration screen. So based on the client requirement, even though functional consultants also configure the screen based on client requirement, but technical consultant will do the customization activities like programming activities screens will design. So these are using with coding. So for example, ABAP అనే అది ఒక కోడింగ్ సంబంధించి ది ABAP కన్సల్టెంట్ అంటారు. So then what is meant by database layer? So all type of data related information stored in the database layer. So I already told all type of data means like GL posting, vendor invoice posting, customer invoice posting, as well as customer and vendor invoice clearing, asset accounting. All type of data will be stored in the database layer. So that is called as a all type of data related information will be stored with the database layer. The data will stored in the table format. I already told table format. In SAP, we are having more than thousands of tables is there. Each and every report will generated. The data will display on table format. For example, ECC in ECC in SAP ECC where you generated the report, the report will display in table format in row wise. At the same time, in S/4HANA also we can generate the reports. The reports will display the table format as well as the column wise. Then the database layer is nothing but storage location as well as data as well as types of data will be stored as the tables. All type of database is maintained by the basis consultant. So data is nothing but master data information, transactional data information, configurational data information. I already told. Configurational data information is nothing but customization like programming. And transactional data information nothing but end user work. So I already told. So one of the major important topic, the interview, if anyone attend the interviews in FICO, the FICO not only SAP interviews, the interviewer must and should ask the important question. What is the difference? What is the database? What is the database for S/4HANA and ECC? So then we can now we'll need and then I can explain. S/4HANA database is HANA database. The ECC database is Oracle and SQL. So before S/4HANA updation, before the SAP ECC version was using the database purpose Oracle as well as SQL database. The SAP was using. Now recently updated S/4HANA new version. After coming the new version, the database layer also using the database layer one name is S/4HANA database. You can yes, so if you can post any accounting entry in the end user screen, the information will be stored in the database layer. Whenever if you want to report whenever if you want to report data from database layer. So మనం ఎప్పుడైనా రిపోర్ట్స్ జనరేట్ చేసినప్పుడు based on the transactional data, the reports will generate from the database layer. So next. So we'll check so once again we'll check this process from the SAP. So go to SAP. So go to SAP. Double click on SAP. So the user ID and password. select the user and password. So here the D code is report generation purpose. The T code is SC16N. SC16N is the reports generation purpose T code. So S16 I'm sorry. So SC16 table, SC16 T code is using for SC16 in table, SC16 T code is using for reports generation purpose. So now we are moving to SAP. SC16. So we need to use the capital letter SC16, 16N, 16N, and then enter. So here general table display. So for example, any transaction done, we need to check the related transaction reports. So or else we need to check the particular ledger reports, or else we need to generate the particular vendor. We need to generate the like a customer report, vendor reports. Each and every reports will display here. So after that, after after click on the ST16 and T code, that the screen will be displayed here. There are number of number of reports available. I already told more than thousands of reports available in SAP. So now I'm checking the two or three examples. So GL accounts. GL accounts means general ledger accounts. So GL, how many numbers of GL accounts we have created? How many numbers of GL accounts you have created? The related of GL accounts. So what are the data we are uploaded? GL information like that particular GL information. Each and everything, like for example, vendor creation, vendor accounts, customer accounts. So vendor related information, vendor name, vendor bank account, vendor name, vendor bank account, vendor related each and every information will generate these T codes. So first of all, we are using SA16N. After entering this one, the screen will be displayed. After that, now we need to check the vendor account. So LFB1. So using this LFB1. So then enter. So here it shows maximum number of it's 500. So 500 more, at a minimum 500 number of vendors will generate one time. Again, after that, again we need to generate one more time. So here company code we need to enter must and should. So our company code is SSMB. Enter the company code, enter, and here clock symbol is there. We can click on the clock symbol. It means execute this. It is output. So here, then you can check automatically download the three numbers of vendors. So this is the vendor number 71, 72, 80, 71, 72, 83. We already created. So in SMB company, we are having three numbers of vendors. So once we can check. So the total data. I already discussed the SAP FIC, the SAP ECC. Now we are using ECC version. So in ECC version, the reports is generated in table format. Like this is the table format. So this is the table format. In table format, ECC report generated in table format and rows wise. Row means ఇది. Row means this is called as a row. Column means this is called as a column. This is called as a column. So in S/4HANA, the reports will generated in column wise. So now we are using ECC. So the reports will generated in rows wise. That is the major difference. The interviewer question should ask what is the difference between ECC and S/4HANA at the time of reporting generation purpose, and simply asking one question. So at the time we will answer that at the time of at the time of reports generation purpose, the ECC, the ECC version will display the reports in table format as well as rows wise. Yes, for HANA, the reports will generated as well as column wise. So that is the answer. So then here you can check the number of options is there. Sort in ascending or find, that filter, total, print, use, export. So export means, as per SAP knowledge, export means what are the data, I mean, what are the information in SAP. So that information we need to download. For example, these three vendors related information is there. So this complete data we need to download and send someone. For this purpose, we need to export. Export means downloading. Export means downloading the data from SAP server. So here we can enter the export option. Here it will display number of options like spreadsheet and word processing, local files, send. Directly we can send the option SAP Office folders. We can save ABC analysis, HTML download. So these data, these three vendors related information, we need to we have download option as well as download option in different modes. So now we can select the spreadsheet too. Like spreadsheet means Excel. So then we can select from file format. So like SAP in Excel we have updated version like 2003. Like there are number of Excel applications is there. So we can enter XLMS format, whatever we can XLMS format. Click on here, select the desktop where we can save the data. So these purpose we can select the desk. I will select the desktop and export all. So same name already we downloaded. So we need to change the another name. END or vendors list. You can enter the name, save, allow, then again allow. So you can check out the total vendors data will be downloaded in the Excel format. So you can check it out. I already told. Now we are using ECC format. So in ECC format, the data the data will the reports will generated in rows wise. So vendor name, company name, personal name, created on date, created by posting number. Each and every configuration, each and every data will available in this table format to the column rows wise. So then second one. So another let me let me explain about the EC S for HANA. So in S for HANA, the data will reported in S for HANA. For example, ECC vendor name, company code, personal number. These row wise the data headings is there. Based on data headings, each and every vendor names will be vendor details will displayed. But in S for HANA, for example, vendor name, company code, then personal number. In this way, like this is the column wise, this is the row wise. So the major difference is ECC will display the reports in rows wise, then S for HANA will display the reports column wise. So that is the small changes in SAP and ECC. So you can understand. Then one more thing, as well as GL accounts checking purpose, SKB1. So go to SAP, just go to just back. Here you can enter SKB1. SKB1 for GL accounts. So how many numbers of GL accounts we have created, and how many numbers of GL accounts we have created, and each and every thing will each and every what are the information of total information of the GL accounts will report this far. Then enter company code SSMB. Enter. Go to plus mark, click on click this plus mark button is called as the execute button. Here, click on this button. So once we can check, there are here we have 26 number of 26 means we already created 26 numbers of GL accounts in SSMB company. So these are all GL accounts. 1 lakh is the one GL account number. 1 lakh 102 is the one GL account. So these are all GL accounts for the these are all GL accounts, like more than 26 GL accounts we created in our company code. So once we can check the company code GL account, clerk list of accounts created by plan group under level which group of house banking system. So these are all implemented by these are all comes under the table format. Whenever we have generated the reports, the report will generated in the table format and row wise in ECC. And whenever we generate the reports, that is generated in the table format as well as column wise in S/4HANA version. So then go to here. I already told here options. There are many options here. Beside the printer, one option is there, arrow mark. That is called the export option. Export means nothing but you can download the data from SAP server. So click on click on this one. It will display that there are number of options in SAP, like spreadsheet option, word processing option, local files, and SAP Office folders, SAP ABC, and all this. There are number of options is there. So now we can select the SAP spreadsheet. Then click on execute here. Save the desktop. So enter the name GL accounts. GL accounts 1, 2, 3. I already mentioned. So that's what the purpose I mentioned just 1, 2, 3. So save. Hello. Again, hello. Again, hello. So here you can see the total 27, I mean, sorry, 26 GL accounts will generated. So these are all the GL account numbers. So if you require, if you want to view the GL accounts include with the names, so go to SAP, just back here, GL accounts. We can select GL accounts numbers. SSMB GL accounts roles. So go to this arrow mark, click on this arrow mark. So this is the screen for uploading. We already just now previously how to export. Export means download the data from SAP servers. Then upload means, I mean, adding some information or some data uh, to SAP server. That is called as a uploading. So after enter this one here, you can check once. The upload, I mean upload from clipboard means this option is there. So before that we already selected the GL account numbers. So select these are all GL accounts. The numbers will in text format. So that before that I can cancel the text format numbers. Wait 1 minute, please. The data will be in text format. The reports could not be generated. Maybe I think once remove all the text format. So then select all the GL account numbers. Here we can upload. So then automatically what are the data. What are the GL account numbers we'll selected. So we no need to say copy paste here. So we just we just select each and every one and copy. Then here upload option we can click. Then the tick mark is required. Check input. So click on this tick mark. Then transfer data. Execute. Then finally the click on here check plus box. This is called as a execute button. So it will be generated GL accounts, each and everything, which GL is created in which date, created by username, field status, variant, currency, and each and every data will generate it. So again, if you want required, you need to export. So here there are many options is there. You can check it. GL account numbers, technical names, and each and the technical names, and each and everyone is available here. So for example, you can remove these all tick marks. The time of document, at the time of report generation purpose, which type of data we require, like planning group, planning level, planning field status group. For example, one ledger key. For example, we have one field status group. If you want to see the field status group, we can click on this here. Or without, if you don't want to, if you don't want to require the field status group, then you can unclick unclick on this tick mark. Then so for example, I just example purpose I can show everything. So remove all the tick marks, then execute. So check it once. Just GL account number only it comes and company code only it comes. So these are all, these are all data will not be generated. Why? Because we already deselected. These are all columns related information. That purpose, then it automatically it will not be shown. సో థ్యాంక్ యూ అండి. థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్. నెక్స్ట్ క్లాస్‌లో అనదర్ టాపిక్ గురించి ఎక్స్‌ప్లెయిన్ చేద్దామండి. ఈరోజు టాపిక్‌లో సో ద ఎస్ఏపీ ఈసీఎస్ఈ అయితేమి ఎస్/4HANAలో దిస్ ఈస్ ద మోస్ట్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ టాపిక్స్. దిస్ ఈస్ ద మోస్ట్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ టాపిక్. 3-tier architecture. So 3-tier architecture means I already told 3-tier architecture. 3-tier architecture means nothing but the types of SAP or layers of in SAP. What are the process of data? What are the types of data processing in SAP? I already do configuration data, transaction data. In SAP, we have more than thousands of tables in SAP, presentation layer, application layer. I already explained each and everything. What is mean by presentation? These are all the very, very important topic for interview purpose. So without these questions, interview will not be conducted. So this is the SC16 and is the most important. SC16 is the important code for the report generation purpose. After the click on this SC16, we have different type of T codes is different types of T codes is available for the purpose of checking of different types of ledgers and GL accounts and different types of reports checking purpose. We have different types of T codes. Thank you so much.